Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I have myself some dirty ice, some Devil's Food vodka, a raspberry cream Shasta, and we're going to talk about people wanting to buy my car, which is weird because it happens way more than you'd think. For those of you who are new to this, I have incorporated the consumption of alcohol into these videos for the very simple reason of I would never drink this. So I'm a food blogger. I blog about alcohol on occasion, and I have to use up the things that I blog with. I have a vast storage of drinks, so I am using those drinks in these videos as a method to try and enhance the video and, use up my stockpile without drinking too much. In addition, for every 1,000 subscribers I get, I do purchase one of these bracelets from 4Ocean. 4Ocean will then pull a pound of trash out of the ocean every time I do that. I am giving you an opportunity to do something for the environment for free. Now, I drive myself a beat-up old Honda. Why do I drive myself a beat-up old Honda? Because I've worked at places where they vandalized my car. Got no reason to buy a new car. I ain't got nobody to impress. Pretty much everything is working on it. It's never really broken down on me. It's having a problem right now. I'll get it fixed eventually. But there's no reason for me to buy a new car, Even if I were going to buy a new car, I'd just buy another old car and then I might inherit more problems. So because the car generally doesn't break down, it's worth owning. If I were a little more affluent, I would probably have a nice car that I only drove, when I was going on a date or going on a vacation, going somewhere nice. And this would be my commuter car because it's a piece of crap. But it runs, and it runs good. I've had a few problems with it, yeah, sure. A few minor things, but overall, I'm really happy with this particular car. I would definitely buy another one. Of course, I stepped out of the house today, and I was, going to try another fast food item because I have a channel where I review things, primarily movies, but on occasion food things. Things like this, in addition to putting them on my blog. And there was a business card in my windshield wiper that said, we buy junk cars. I was like, this isn't a junk car, it's just dusty. But this has happened to me a couple of times. I mean, there was one time, before this, about a month ago, there was a note on my car. If you ever want to sell this, please call me. I threw it out. Before that, somebody rang my doorbell, ran back into their car, and was like, hey, is that Honda for sale? No, why would it be for sale? Your registration's expired. Oh, is it? I forgot to fix it. So I went and I fixed it. I had the sticker, I just hadn't put it on yet. It's one of those things. And then the first time this happened, guy left a note on my car, and a couple days later he came to my house and he was like, I wanted to make sure you got my note. I want to buy your car. It's not for sale. Looks like you haven't driven it in a while. I drove it this morning. I want it for my sister. I don't care. It's not for sale. Really weird how people keep trying to buy Hondas. I hate people that do that, by the way. I mean, obviously, if the car were for sale, I'd put a for sale sign on it, I mean, what, are there people that just go driving around the neighborhood saying, is that car for sale? Is that car for sale? Looks like you got an old car. Thinking of selling it? Apparently that is a thing, because I knew a guy back in the 90s. People would knock on his door and ask if they could buy his classic Camaro. And he'd be like, $50,000. What? That's way too much. Yeah, well, it's not for sale, dumbass. So stop trying to buy it. Ugh. This is not bad, by the way. I mean, I drink this alcohol sparingly because apparently it would give you hangovers, and it does not do well as a shooter. Just doesn't. But in this form, it's actually pretty good. So, I guess fixing up these old cars can be quite lucrative. But the problem there being is I have no reason to want to sell my car. It does have a significant problem that eventually may lay up the car. It's one of those things where it's very intermittent and it goes off and on, and it's not the biggest issue, but it not being the biggest issue, it just, I'm not the kind of person that cares what I drive. I don't really want to drive a nice car because I have no reason to. Now again, if I had a lot of money, I would probably have a nice car. Maybe not like a super nice car, but a nice car. I would have a nicer car, and I wouldn't drive it very often because I've got my commuter. On the other hand of that, if I had a lot of money, I would hire somebody just to restore cars for me. Because that's, it's a thing. Go to junkyards, find a car that looks nice. Maybe not a great car, maybe not a classic, but just something, if I had the money to do it, I would just want to give somebody a job. Of course, it's extremely likely if I washed my car more often, people would stop trying to buy it. But then, often, I stay home for long periods, and looks like my car doesn't move. So, I guess people could take that attitude. Anyway, thank you for sharing this moment with me. I'm Richard. Hey, Astro, did you hear about the restaurant on the moon? Yeah, Nance, I heard the food was good, but it had no atmosphere. Now that was a corny joke, but you know what isn't a joke? A clean environment. And this channel will buy one of these bracelets I'm holding from 4Ocean for every 1,000 subscribers it gets. So you should comment, like, and subscribe. Support us so we can support a better world.